y'all, I'm Tiffany with Hilltop Tulips, and in today's video I wanted to show you guys a little bit of what I have going on at my house. My last video, which I'm going to link down below, I was showing the garden, that my family's garden that we plant the onions and potatoes in. Well, that's where our main garden's going to be, but at my house I rent and I'm not able to plant in the ground, which is fine. I expect that with renting, and that's okay. But I still want to grow food, so you have to find some creative ways to do that, and I've been doing that through container gardening. My first year I had actually this pot, this teeny little pot right here, gross, and I put 2 tomato plants in that. Looking back on it, I feel extremely silly, but I didn't know any better, and I stopped researching so much that I psyched myself out, because I would read and take notes and watch videos, and I just couldn't ever get it all together, so I never planted anything. I researched for like 2 or 3 years before I ever planted a seed, and then finally Jess at Roots and Refuge was saying, just do it, you're going to learn more hands-on. So I decided to just do it, and I did it wrong. But that is okay. I think I got one little small tomato, and I'm surprised it even did that, but they looked awful. The plants look terrible. They stayed really small, and then I realized it's because that container is too small for even one tomato. So right now I have lettuce in it, which I'm having a hard time growing, but I'm able to turn my waiting room into a classroom, which I've heard the Stivers say, I've heard Jess from Roots and Refuge say. I'm not sure who originated it, but I'm learning. Even though I'm not able to plant in the ground, I'm not at my homestead yet, I'm able to learn and try things and see what works and what doesn't, and troubleshoot. Even though it isn't just containers, I'm still getting a lot of hands-on experience, so I know how much space a tomato needs now. So what I've been doing is using 5-gallon buckets. They're good. I like 5-gallon buckets. I wanted something a little bigger for tomatoes. So I ordered these. Sorry, it's loud. I ordered these fabric pots, fabric containers, and I got a 5-pack of the 10-gallon. They're like felt, kind of, for somewhere around $20 on Amazon. I'll put that in the link below as well. But these, I went ahead and got the tan because in the middle of summer it gets really hot, and I felt like the black fabric pots were going to be too hot just because of our climate here. And this is what they look like open. So I'm going to fill this up, and today I'm just going to fill them because I've still, I have one tomato that's hardened off that I'm going to go ahead and plant today. I put him out as a trial. He was my test tomato. My peppers are not ready to come out yet, and I don't have anything else that's hardened off. I'm going to take another one of these fabric pots to put my herbs in. I'm going to do a basil, a dill, and a parsley, I believe, and let them grow in one together. It's 10 gallons, so I feel like if I keep everything trimmed and harvested, that'll be fine. I have a pot of oregano, so I don't need to start any more of that. That's overwintered great for me. I have my garlic behind me, and I planted those from organic garlic cloves from the store. I just bought a head of garlic and popped the cloves out and planted organic, because the non-organic usually has something on it that'll keep it from sprouting and going bad, which would keep it from sprouting and growing. So I grabbed the organic garlic heads from my grocery store, and I planted those, and the greens are growing, so they may produce. I'm not sure. They still need till at least June, so we've got time on that. And then I have behind me my snap peas, and it's really funny. The first year that I ever grew these, the plants got really big. They filled up that whole tomato cage, and full of flowers at one point, and then there was never any peas. They never produced any peas. They were full of flowers, so I have no clue what happened. But these I did a little short video on them. I started them the end of summer. Well, it was probably more like October, November, so in the fall. I should have started them a little earlier for a fall harvest, but it was still so hot. Our climate is weird. It goes from like hot to cold to hot. There's not a lot of in between time to garden those cooler weather things like peas. So I planted them around October, November, I believe. Don't quote me on that. And they got maybe a foot tall and just slowed down so much I couldn't really tell that they were growing anymore. But they lived all through the winter. We only got one snow, and it was melted. Like, it snowed in the afternoon, it was melted by the next morning. So we don't have extreme winters, but the pea plants survived all winter and started to get warmer. The real cold part of winter was over, and they started growing more. And then once our weather got a little nicer, it was putting on flowers again. So I was really glad that I left it, and it's an amazing looking plant. It's very, very, like, it is sturdy. So it looks great, and now it's covered in peas. And my girls, they'll come out here without me, but I'll come out here with them too, like on my breaks from work, and we'll pick them and eat them straight off the vine. I don't know if any have made it in the house without just being eaten straight. And they're doing great, so I'm gonna leave them until the hot weather gets to them. We're starting to have like 80-degree days now, so I don't know how much longer they'll last, but I'm gonna leave them while I can and take advantage of them. And then once they're done, I'll probably stick either a pepper plant or tomato in one of those buckets. But I also have this big black bucket kind of thing that my mom gave me to plant some flowers in. So I don't normally plant flowers. I don't really know anything about flowers. I'm definitely learning as I go with that. But I found Flower Hill Farms YouTube page, and she is so passionate about it, and she's so funny. And through watching her page, I was like, okay, I guess I'll try it. So I started some sweet pea seeds, and they're kind of puny, kind of sad looking, but I'm still going to try to plant them and see if I get anything from them, because the smell of a sweet pea flower is amazing. So the worst thing that can happen is I wasted the space in this bucket, but we have our big garden. We have another location that we garden a little bit at, and then I have my containers here at my house, so we've got plenty of space. I'm going to use, I debated on it. Like, I was really agonizing over whether I'm going to plant these sweet pea flowers or not, because my starts don't look great, and I was worried it would be a waste of space. But my friend Kayla and I were talking, and she was like, just plant it. You'll never know if you don't plant it. And she's right. So I'm going to plant it, and we'll see what we get. If we get anything. If we don't, then I'll know I need to either start them earlier, or I think they might need more space. They're in 4-inch pots, but I feel like that wasn't enough space for them, because I know they're usually planted in root trainers because they need a lot of room for their roots. So I'm going to get this filled up, and I'm going to go ahead and fill up as many of my fabric pots as I can. We're about to get we're supposed to start getting rain this afternoon, even though it doesn't look like it at all. And then it's supposed to rain this weekend as well. So I'll get them filled up, and even if I'm not planting in them, the rain will wet the soil for me. So let's just get started and see how far we can get today. I forgot to show my trellises. I ordered these from Amazon as well, and I don't know. Well, that's weird. These are dirty. So they've definitely been used. That is so weird. I wonder if they were a return. Didn't say that on the description. Thanks, Amazon. I don't know if I'll use this or not. I think my dad likes this stuff. Some little Velcro. Maybe it's rust. Maybe they're not dirty. I don't know. Directions, that's what I need. Oh, okay, and these guys. Oh, all the plastic. Okay, I'll just throw that in there for now. These are the first 3. I don't have a clue how sturdy these things are going to be. We'll see. The pollen's just raining on me. That's a pretty decent height. I paid, I feel like it was maybe $30-ish for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these. So I mean, not bad. And I'm gardening in containers, so I needed something more like this. I will definitely be, let me not say definitely, nothing is for sure until it's done, but I plan to use cattle panel trellises in my garden when I purchase my homestead, which I'm working on right now. It's supposed to be like a triangle, not a square. Okay. Why am I confused? This. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if you guys noticed in my last video we had the greenhouse put together, and I actually did most of that, and the reason is because I told my dad I couldn't. He was like, come on, let's get this put together, and I was like, I can't, I don't do stuff like that, I don't put stuff together. And I don't. My sister-in-law, Michaela, she actually put together my daughter's crib and her dresser, and I don't normally do stuff like that. But don't ever tell your dad you can't, because then he was like, here, and just gave me the stuff to do it and kind of backed off and made me do it, I guess. So I can, and I did, and I just put this together. That is pretty flimsy, but it's okay. When we stick it in the ground, it won't be as bad. I think it's gonna work. Oh. Okay, much more sturdy when I put these on. Follow directions, Tiffany, follow directions. Okay. Wonder if any of my neighbors are watching me film and wondering why I'm talking to myself. Yeah, that's way better. I think these are gonna work. Maybe not loaded down with big beefsteak tomatoes, but I usually just grow cherries here. And I'm gonna grow my little dainty sweet pea flowers, hopefully. So I think it's gonna work just fine for that. I guess these are plant clips. I've never used anything like this. I'll save them, but I don't know if they'll be getting used. Okay, clean up my mess. So I forgot to tell you guys about my bucket. Lowe's is doing a spring promotion where they're giving away like some kind of garden related item throughout this month, and the one for next week is already full everywhere around me, but you can try to register. I'll put the link in the description below, but this is what I got yesterday. It came with, I picked a jalapeno plant, so I got a jalapeno plant, my bucket, and then a pair of Lowe's garden gloves. I'll probably give these to my mom because I might keep them, I don't know. I don't like using gloves. And then, don't be mad at me, guys. Miracle Grow. So, I said I will never use Miracle Grow. It's all organic. I'm all organic. This was free. I really wanted the bucket, and I'm growing flowers now, and I'm not going to eat the flowers. So, I still will not use any kind of pesticide. I still will not purchase Miracle Grow myself. I don't want to give the company my money, but this came free in the kit. I got a free plant, a free bucket, and I got this fertilizer. I might use that on my flowers. I don't know. We'll see. And then a bag of Miracle Grow potting mix. But we still have some more flowers and stuff to plant up at my mom's house. So I'll use this for that. I'm not going to use it right now for my sweet peas, because if they don't do well, I'm going to pull them out and go ahead and put a tomato plant in. So I don't want this to be in there. So I'm going to save that for the flowers and go ahead and get my sweet peas started. Let me show you my sweet peas. So these are some of them, and they don't do great anyway because it's so hot. Hands are dirty. But maybe once I get them in something and out of these, we'll see. That one looks like it's even dampening off. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna plant them. We'll see. So here's an up close at my pea plants. There's that garlic. Have another one back there. Those are them sad little sweet peas. This is getting ready to be a tomato. Sad little lettuce. And then my other peas. And you can see there's peas all over. But there's a lot less flowers than there were, so I think it's slowing down. So that bag of soil was only enough to fill that black bucket and that much of my fabric pot. But I'm going to go ahead and plant my tomato in the fabric pot, and I can add more soil or more soil and then a layer of mulch if I want to. That helps hold the moisture in when you're container gardening. So on a tomato plant, let me take my little tag out. Okay. On a tomato plant, these little furry things that are up and down the whole thing, the whole stem, those turn into roots when they're covered with dirt. So what you want to do when you plant a tomato is get it as deep as possible. I want to plant this one up to about right here. So I'm just going to pick off the leaves up to that point, and then all of this that is below the dirt is going to grow roots, and that's going to make your plant stronger. nowhere near deep enough. Nope, nope, nope. And this is a champagne bubbles from M.I. Gardener. And they did awesome, even with me trying to kill all my seedlings like I did. So that's not deep enough at all. I need to fill the bucket up, but I wanted to go ahead and get him in something bigger. So I have ordered more dirt, and once I fill this bucket up, then it'll be covering up to where I want it. And I'm gonna get this guy a trellis, because you wanna do it when they're younger like this, instead of waiting until they're big and then trying to slide the trellis down around them. It's not easy. So I'm gonna go ahead and build his trellis and stick it over him while he's small. All right, so we got the little tomato baby planted with those trellises. I got the sweet peas planted. I'm gonna give them a little bit to get established, and then once they start growing a little bit, I'll try to train them up those. I might come and tie them up a little bit to the trellis, but trellises are pretty flimsy. I don't know how well they're gonna work yet. We'll see once they've got the weight of some plants on them. I don't know. But these metal cages are a little more expensive, so keep you guys posted. Thank you for watching.